Whoa, shit!
God dang.
Where the fuck are we?
Let's see. There's a dragon thing on the top, a bunch of bolts and things. I think that we are in Victorian England.
Yeah, that seems about right. Things glowed in Victorian England, right?
Clearly. I mean, look at all of the wonderful historical documentation we have about glowing artifacts and top hats. Also pipes.
So this is kind of something a little like this is really intentional that this is here. Like, hey, this is engraved with some strange power. In case you haven't touched any of the other chests that have a strange power, like basically this is another thing that you can't open right now, and you gotta wonder.
Huh.
It's
Well, this is a thing.
this is kind of bleak. Kind of bleak and awful.
It kind of is. Who's this homeless person?
Oh, you call it
wow!
money?
I pegged that one. Oh, never mind. This is actually a business person. They're just really upfront about their marketing techniques.
Buy some stuff from this guy. Save money. They'll do you good. That's my motto.
However, give me money. I need it.
Yes.
For my mother's
Because
operation.
I'm homeless. So there's some food to the northeast, but you gotta go through Lab 16, and the monsters there don't react to weapons. We're gonna want to remember that.
Yeah, that's probably important. Let's put a pin in that, and we'll come back to it.
If you're looking for food, you lose.
Well, darn.
You get a full night's sleep in a few seconds, but it still leaves you hungry. So yeah, we'll restore our MP after that dragon fight.
Useful.
HP MP restored, but you're still hungry.
Oh, that's a little
that's
sad.
That's like one of my favorite moments out of Chrono Trigger. It makes a comeback in Chrono Cross. You find another one of those, and it totally does that thing.
Maybe we'll have to play that one for a little bit.
Yeah,
Lab 16.
I like Chrono Cross. Like, I'll play it all the way through, no complaints.
Anyway,
Like,
Lab
I know
16 looks suspiciously like a city.
Yeah,
It's good.
Wonder what city was here. Looks like this shit got wrecked.
Well, I don't see
So-
any giant footprints, so I'm guessing it's not Tokyo.
So these rats, if you let them touch you, they'll steal an item from you, and it's usually like a tonic or something small. But basically, you just want to, like, they're one of the enemies you want to avoid.
Now, this is Lab 16, and they were just talking about the monsters not reacting to weaponry as normal.
It doesn't quite happen yet, but you're gonna encounter enemies that don't, and that's your cue to find an alternate way to damage them. Which, in our case, is gonna be Luca.
Really? Who is this?
Luca is the.
I don't.
Sorry, I mean Butts. Sorry, that was her nickname in high school.
Thank you. God, all that effort. And for what? Way to blow that one.
Yeah, she's basically our way to, throw fire at them. Because that's the only thing that damages the enemies when they show up.
Oh, well, that's actually pretty cool. You have to kill it with fire in the future.
This is kind of like the game taking another step and teaching you, hey, sometimes you gotta use text.
Oh, those are little
those
earth
rock
pimples.
dudes aren't all that special. There's mooks for you to run over with a multi-hit attack. The meat eaters are actually a key sort of enemy. They introduce you to the concept of enemies. Well, aside from the dragon tank, they introduce you to the concept of enemies that can heal the rest of the group.
Like the rest of the encounter?
Yeah, the rest of the encounter, and that'll be something important as time goes on. It's a really key part of a lot of bosses.
All right. Oh man, those things are upset about you rifling through their box. Octopods are kind of terrifying. I'm not gonna lie here. They give me the willies.
They're a little territorial.
A little bit? Don't touch my box. I'll eat your face. I'll do it, man.
He's crazy.
He's crazy. He'll do it. Don't listen to Steve.
Yeah, so the combats here don't get super interesting until the next screen. Like, there's just sort of like, hey, here's some new enemies, and
yeah,
they,
I dare
they
say
take
that this
HP.
combat is a little bleak, exactly like the future that it's taking place in. Just throw that out
Things
there.
are just, stealing your life force. This is basically how it's going.
Yeah, it's trying to bring you down.
If you missed the load sword in the prison, now you have it for sure. So you're at, like, there's no way you could have missed that chest. So now you're at a damage minimum. Like, they're like, you have at least the amount of levels you would have gotten from fighting most of the enemies once. Plus, you've got at least, like, the damage that the load sword does. That's them controlling your damage output.
As a bonus, though, we've also got 2 swords.
Yeah, so if you wanna sell it,
Oh.
you get a little vendor trash. Nothing wrong with a little vendor trash now and then.
Well, I have been brought down. I was hoping for a little bit more of Butt's magic there. Hey, Chrono, what if we took one sword and put it in one hand, and another sword and put it in your other hand, and then we light you on fire and spin you around?
That'd be, and then that'll increase the radius of your attack.
Absolutely. I mean, clearly she is missing out on a little bit of science. Not her best work.
Yeah, there we go.
This game is really solid.
Basically, it just wants to teach you, about healing enemies and how they're annoying. And it's sort of meant to encourage you to take out the healer first, which is an important feature of a lot of multi-part bosses in the future.
It's kind of an important part of most games ever. I mean,
it's actually
Penny
it's a really
Arcade had
important
to.
RPG tenet.
Yeah, Penny Arcade actually had to go in and make a PSA about exactly that concept.
Tell the healer. Healers are an endangered species. They keep getting murdered. But yeah, this is the next lesson that it wants you to learn, is about multi-hit attacks. No, not multi-hit attacks, but multiple targeting attacks. Like, it kind of covered that earlier, but it was mostly folded into the lesson of, don't be afraid to use your attacks. Like, don't be afraid to spend some MP.
There's always MP in the banana stand.
Exactly. Like, this entire section is all about area of effect. Like, it's all about hitting enemies with AoE.
I kind of feel like...
Motherfucker!
Anyway, I kind of feel like this area is meant to drain you of MP as well. Like, just because, bleak future, you're supposed to be a little hungry and lean. It's thematically appropriate.
Yes, it is kind of meant to make you feel like MP is a little scarce. But also, it's not all that cheap, because there's Enertrons all over, which are basically free HP and MP restores.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just to demonstrate...
oh yeah.
Weapons don't work on these guys. You need to find some alternate means to damage them.
Yeah, these
Which,
blob guys
in
just
our
do
case,
not care.
Pretty much limits us to putting a lighter in front of butts and farting all over them.
So we go to the future, and the huge technology science nerd is the only viable party member for some encounters. That seems about appropriate.
This chapter kind of is Butts' time to shine.
Yeah. It's...
Wax her booty.
We'll have to powder her cheeks. This is an interesting individual.
Yeah, this is...
Like,
it's ugly.
I see that it's a mutant, but a mutant what?
General mutant.
Oh!
Mutants are. It's all purpose. And yeah, again, there's that HP steal.
Yeah. If you're gonna get by in the future, you know what must be done. You gotta attach your proboscis to other things. And you know what? I'm just gonna stop that one. We're done there. Is that a fire hydrant? Oh, there it goes.
This is one of my favorite enemy introductions. Is them coming out of the fire hydrant. Their goop. This game just has so many good little encounter starts. Like the henchman sliding down the stairs and these guys coming out of the fire hydrant. How good is that? Answer, pretty good.
I didn't really think about that until now, but I mean the intentional encounter design is really great for that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's just a little way to make the world feel a tiny bit more real.
Yeah, like now they're crawling out of the sewer. That's really great. I like that. Man, more games need stuff like that.
Oh, I shouldn't have attacked.
Man, they've got some reach on that counterattack.
Oh, fuck me! I attack normally. Oh well.
Well, that's just super.
So,
another round of combat. Say that again. I talked over you like a big chump.
how's life? No, we're good.
My life? Do you want a real answer? I could just recount my yesterday for you real quick.
Moving on.
Oh, come on.
I guess we get out of this Oh shit! I guess we really do.
Oh, sweet-o. Yeah, let's book it.
I'm sure I just stepped in a weird way that made that possible. Whatever. I'll take it.
You know what? I'm not gonna question it. I am, however, gonna say, suck it, Test Lab 16 or whatever. We're done with you. All right, let's get.
Who the fuck are you?
How did you get here?
Yeah, what? Oh, we came from the labs to the west. What?
You what?
Hey.
Oh man, this
nobody
is big
can hurt
news.
those monsters.
There are people who can beat up the freaky mutants. Hot diggity dang darn! Let's get these guys employed. Oh.
So her husband went down to the food storage below, and she hasn't seen him since. But Daddy's gonna bring us food.
Ow. Ooh.
Warms my heart.
I wasn't prepared for that sad right
we
there.
We learned a lesson about honesty from the trial, so we didn't come from the dome to the west. So we can get information using the computer.
Wait.
That little nugget doesn't show up if you don't tell him that you didn't really come from over there.
Okay, my thought was like, well, yes, we did, but the meaning of that is, did you really come from the west, or where are you really from?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm sure that's imperfect translation.
Yeah, something like that. Like I think it's just the immediacy of my thinking and the depth of yours right there, because I'm a lot more reactionary than you.
Well, anyway, it's just something that I noticed about that. It's just telling you, hey, here's the truth. You get a little information for it. It's kind of the sort of thing that you wouldn't tell somebody in an RPG. You wouldn't reveal, the nature of your quest to a lot of people. And anyway, the door with the crest, oh, well, Dynamite won't budget. Oh, oops. Dynamite won't budget. And this guy, there's an old man living in the dome near Death Peak. I'm sure that won't ever be important.
Well, it's named Death Peak, so it's probably not that big a deal. It's probably just something they tell so the kids won't go up and make out all evening in their fancy red cars.
Have any money? Yeah, sure. Are you sure this is money? Yeah, we
Ouch.
We can stock up on inventory.
You come to think of it, I'm really glad that the currency didn't radically shift in the future.
Well, it's shiny rocks. We have gold. Anyway, save money. It'll do you good. It's what that guy who walked to the other dome used to say. Huh?
Whoa! Hey!
Huh?
That was a surprising little turnabout there. All right, man. Like, this is an RPG, so we get into the combat, and I do get a little bit quiet because it's RPG menu combat by and large, but it does these little things, little itty bitty things. It just surprise me all the time.
So yeah, so he's like, wait, you're gonna go down there, but no one's ever come back alive. He's like, well, we gotta try, right? Or Marl's like, we gotta try.
Ever the optimist.
This console controls the passageway. We need a password to get through. Ah, well, shit. We don't have one of those. Maybe later.
Darn. Oh, man. Yeah, the memories. Wait.
Looks like a statue, but a memo's attached to it. Anyone within vicinity of the stockroom will be attacked. So, seems like there's some combat coming up. Maybe if I didn't use that Enertron up there, maybe I should do that now.
Yeah, if they're literally giving you a memo about violence.
And fucking this alarm?
Ooh. Oh, jeez!
Alright, so this is our third boss encounter, and it introduces a boss format that's going to be used for the rest of the game. Pretty much like all of the big bosses will use this format here.
Does it involve falling from the ceiling?
You have one big dude, and then you have two smaller dudes on either side of it.
Now, are the smaller dudes replenishable?
I'm sorry, what?
Are the smaller dudes replenishable? Like, does he summon more if you deal with both of them?
Yes. And that's actually the lesson that this boss fight wants to teach you. This boss is about, in the same vein as other bosses' positional vulnerability, this boss is all about time-based vulnerability. See, if you attack the main section of this boss, he'll deal a nasty counterattack, but only while these two bits are up.
Oh,
and that counterattack is enough to, wipe your party, which is why I'm not going to demonstrate it.
For the sake of timing and pacing of the video.
Yeah. There's not going to be... I'm going to try to avoid a party fight.
Maybe we'll come back, fail once, and just edit it in near the end. Do something neat like that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So, that one's down. And now that one's down.
All right, now let's see how this changes.
Oh wait,
now,
I think I just made a mistake. Yeah, he's immune to magic elemental attacks in the main section.
Oh.
So which is a method of them slowing down your DPS. But anyway, so 5 is the number that popped up there. Now it's 4. So once that hits 0, he's gonna bring back the bits.
Oh, it's a countdown to the next deployment?
Mm-hmm. So this is basically just, wail on him as fast as you can during this period. Yeah.
That's nifty.
A lot of Chrono Trigger bosses will kind of last a long time, but they won't, they usually won't be that hard. Like, if you know what you're doing.
Revives the bit. That seems like a translation thing. Now, once again, I'd like to point out the really great sprite work that this game has. I mean, look at all the different light sources and values, light glinting off these things as they move around. This game is really solid visually. Like, oh man, when you're burning stuff up and it does that weird glowing whatever doodle. It's fantastic.
And yeah, now he should go down on this phase. Basically, it's just meant to make sure that you learned the lesson that you needed to learn. Like, this is all about killing off the smaller enemies before you tackle the big one. And that's something that you need to know in order to handle future bosses. In fact, there's
Go on.
I was gonna say there's one boss later on that only has one smaller dude, but if you don't take him out, you know, you have no chance of beating the other boss.
That goes against my usual thought processes, which is to just knock down the heaviest thing that I possibly can to get that much damage out of the way.
I think it's a JRPG thing to take out the minions. Like that's something that I've been used. Well, maybe it comes from this game. Who knows? But in a lot of JRPGs, the idea is to take out the minions because it's a lot harder to deal with multiple sources of damage than it is to deal with just one. Like but maybe that's a trope that comes out of here. I can't think of an earlier game that really has that logic. Like in a lot of RPGs, if you beat the main boss, the rest of them follow.
Oh man, it's probably that guy.
Everything's completely rotten, so the refrigeration is busted down.
Ah, dang.
And he died a long time ago. He's got something in his hand.
God, there's so much sad right now. I woke up and I wanted to have a good day, but ooh.
So we found a seed, though. Maybe there's hope. I'm gonna get a meeting here. And the following is written on a soiled sheet of paper. A rat is more than just a statue. It knows the secret of this dome. Catch it.
What?
Found that rat statue. Now we gotta catch him.
Is it a statue? Is it just somebody's incredibly avant-garde taxidermy?
Dash with the B button and catch him with the A button. So if you didn't figure out running, now's your chance to sink or swim. You either learn it or you don't progress. And this is something that a lot of games have been employing. Like we read that article about Super Metroid, but it's pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, yeah, so don't make any mistakes or you'll be sorry. He told us the password is to hold L and R and press A at the computer.
Now, if you have this meta-knowledge, like it's your 3rd, 7th playthrough, can you just skip that whole thing?
I tried that. When we came in here. And,
bummer.
No. You have to beat the boss.
Ooh, those rats. Is this a fight that we can get into?
Yeah.
Why, yes! Yes, it is!
Now, this is something neat. It attacks moving objects and also has a kind of a line attack. Like, that damaged Marl. So, one of the neat things we can do with this is use it against itself.
Oh, so have it fight half the
buddy.
combat for you.
Rather than wasting a turn in combat taking down the rats, and then getting counterattacked for, 40 damage, which isn't chicken feed.
Yeah, that's a pretty serious business. Ooh, box! Go get the box! Get the box!
I'm gonna go get the box!
Yeah!